If you remember the cartoons you watched as a kid in the 1980s, come prove it. We have gathered several popular cartoons from that era, so come and let's see how well you remember them. The first cartoon is about the adventures of two different hybrid animals. All the characters in this cartoon have wings on their backs, but only two can fly. Do you remember this cartoon? If you don't, here's another clue. One of the main characters is a half bumblebee and half lion. Also, they all lived in a place called the Isle of Wuzz. Do you remember it now? Yeah, the first cartoon on this list is Wuzzles, an animated television series that was very successful in the 80s. When it aired on CBS in September 1985, the series was so good that the characters in the show, especially Bumbleion, often featured in children's books in the 1980s. Sadly, the show lasted for just one season due to the producer's decision to discontinue it. At the same time, Wuzzles aired during the same period as Adventures of the Gummy Bears. So Walt Disney decided to let go of Wuzzles to focus on the latter. Wuzzles remains a big part of the memories of American kids in the 1980s, despite its short reign. Like the Wuzzles, the characters in this series are colorful. The cartoon story centers around bears of different colors living in the clouds. Throughout the series, these bears have just one mission: to care for others. To achieve their aim, they travel all around the world through the clouds with the help of their friends. While on their care missions, these bears must also stop Professor Coldheart, an evil villain whose mission is to cause trouble that makes people forget about what caring means. Can you guess the show? If you couldn't guess the show with these clues, you probably didn't watch the show. Care Bears is an animated television series that aired from 1985 to 1988. It is based on the popular movie franchise of the same name. Each of the series' characters has a name that shows what they could do. The inspiration for the characters came from Elena Kuchari's paintings, who intended to use them as American greeting cards. In these paintings, the Care Bears are big dolls in different colors. They have a huge stomach with a unique image drawn on them. When Care Bears was released, it was a hit in the US and internationally. After the show ended, a successor series was released in 1986 and aired on ABC. Then, in 2007, the series was revived again. On to the next one. This next series is about a gymnastics team coach who travels around the world with his team and solves different mysteries. Every time they arrive somewhere new, the coach and his team get entangled in some situation that requires them to solve a mystery before leaving. One of the things that made the series popular was the opening and closing scenes of each episode. In the opening scene, the coach introduces himself and explains the episode and what is going on in that scene. Then, in the closing scene, the coach returns to the screen to give the audience a moral lesson about the situation. That certainly was an easy guess. Yes, the show is Mr. T. Mr. T was a popular animated series in the US in the 1980s. The series ran from 1983 to 1985 on NBC. The series details the adventures of Mr. T and the members of his gymnastics team: Miss Priscilla, the bus driver; Jeff Harris, the intelligent one; Woody Daniel, Jeff's rival who hopes to become a lawyer; Robin, Mr. T's assistant; Kim, a computer scientist with an eidetic memory; and Sky, a gymnast with something to prove. Every American kid in the 80s loved to turn their TV on every Saturday morning to catch the latest episode of Mr. T and see what new mystery the team would solve. Remember Garfield? Yeah, we're not talking about him. The main character in this cartoon series talks about the life of an orange cat and his friends, while the other features a group of cats called the Cadillac Cats. The Cadillac Cats group is headed by Riff Raff, a streetwise alley cat who sees himself as confident and stylish. Other members of the Cadillac Cats group include Hector, a brown and beige cat with a New Jersey accent; Wordsworth, a light gray cat named after the famous poet; Mungo, a gray cat who is slow-witted; and Cleo, a blonde cat who is Riff Raff's girlfriend. Just like in Mr. T, this animated series also shows the main character addressing the audience at the end of each episode. The main character gives tips on pet care based on the episode's theme. With these clues, can you guess the cartoon series? If you are thinking Heathcliff, you are 100% right. Heathcliff is an animated television series that ran from 1984 to 1985. It received a favorable reception in the US and Europe. Due to its success, the series has been rerun on Nickelodeon, Family Channel, Fox Family, This TV in the US, and Kids Co., Fox Kids, and Jetix for an international audience. How many cartoon series have you guessed correctly so far? If you correctly guessed all 4, or maybe even 3, you are an OG of the 80s. Better luck with the next guess if you haven't guessed anything correctly. We're gonna make this one easy for those who have yet to have one correct guess. This series details the lives of gnomes. It shows how they live, their class structure, and what becomes of gnomes after death. The series details the life of David, the oldest gnome in the forest and the second oldest in the world. He was a doctor who was well versed in acupuncture and hypnosis. David was entering his 400th year, which signified that he would soon turn into a tree. In this series, the main characters live in pairs. They either live in caves or in a hole under a tree. These gnomes do not eat meat. They are strictly vegetarians. The series also details how the gnomes fend off their worst enemy, trolls, who, unlike gnomes, are malevolent creatures. To navigate their way through the forest and evade trolls, the gnomes use their powers of telepathy and mind control. They also usually befriend other types of animals who aid them in transporting from one location to the other. Yeah, you guessed right. The series is the world of David the Gnome. David the Gnome was a Spanish animated series that aired for 26 episodes on Nickelodeon from 1985 to 1986. It was based on the popular children's book The Secret World of Gnomes, which is a fictional story about how gnomes live. The book paints the world of gnomes as harmonious. It reveals what a typical gnome's house looks like and what is in every gnome's first aid kit. Everyone still remembers how we root for our favorite gnomes whenever the trolls cast a magical spell that was too powerful for the gnome's magic. Or how we all jumped for joy in the episode where David recovered the shadowless stone, and the trolls that chased after him could not exit the mountain due to their impure hearts. Good times. You have one last chance if you still haven't gotten one right. This next one should be fairly simple. It is a popular animated series that aired for 6 years. This animated series is set in a fantasy world of magic with a medieval timeline. It follows the lives of 7 mystical bears with human characteristics: Cubby, Sunny, Gruffy, Zummy, Tummy, and Grammy, who tackle a series of problems created by evil characters. They solve these problems to help their human friends. The bears not only have magic, but are also proficient in the use of technology. They live secretly in an underground settlement called Gummy Glen, not far from the forest of the Kingdom of Dunwin. The mystical bears were credited with developing the human world. However, due to fear and an attempt to gain access to the bears' extensive knowledge of the world, humans persecuted the bears and drove them north. The bears scattered around the world, settling in places unknown to humans. Humans concluded that they were gone for good and told the stories of bears as legends. In the series, the bears of Gummy Glen interact with humans and help them with their advanced technology and magic. They mostly try to help the Kingdom of Dunwin thwart the wicked Duke Igthorn's plans to establish a reign of terror. They also try to keep him and his armies from stealing their magic and uncovering the secrets of their technology. Could you guess this series? The answer is Adventures of the Gummy Bears. Adventures of the Gummy Bears is an animated series that ran from the mid-80s into the early 90s. The series was inspired by gummy bear candies and followed the story of anthropomorphic bears who have the ability to bounce around like a rubber ball after drinking the gummy berry juice. The gummy berry juice was an ancient magical potion made from gummy berry, which only grows in the Dunwin forest. While the potion makes the gummy bears bounce around, it gives humans and monsters superhuman strength, but wears off after a short time. Also, humans can only use the potion once a day. The Adventures of Gummy Bears was one of the most successful Disney animated series in the 80s. Everyone still remembers when it aired alongside The Adventures of Winnie the Pooh in 1990 on ABC, which led to the popular Gummy Bears Winnie the Pooh Hour. So, how many did you guess correctly? The OGs of the 80s would surely get them all right. This great list of cartoons proves that the 80s was a time of many great things that form a part of our childhood memories. So which one would you like to watch again? Share your favorites in the comments below. Don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button for more nostalgic content like this one.